Hey, this is John Marucci, and we're going to talk today about our top 5 tools to work from your RPOD. So we're going to look at these 5 things that I use regularly for working from my RPOD. I know not everybody's retired, and I like using my RPOD quite a bit, even during working hours. So I have certain things I use, and this is the top 5 things that I use to work from my RPOD. Okay, so the first thing we're going to talk about is the chair. So as you know, the benches are probably not the best thing to sit in all day if you're going to work for 8 hours, but we did buy a nice chair from Amazon. This is a HERCULES chair. It's got a good thick padding on it, about 3 to 4 inches of memory foam. Really nice chair. This is a little bit under 25 bucks. It's got a good thick back. It's really important, obviously, if you're working in front of a computer all day, that you have a good chair. This is nice in that, you know, it folds up and you can fold it out of the way pretty easily. Right against there, you know, put it away at night, whatnot. But it's a really good chair. It's got good thick memory foam, and it's comfortable. And so I've worked in this many days already since I bought this a couple months ago, and been able to really work from the RPOD. Probably number one thing: if you don't get a good chair, you're gonna have a hard time working from the RPOD. So one of the things I really like about this chair, besides it being comfortable for sitting all day, and then it folds away easily, and it's got good foam, is if you look at the table here. It fits really nicely between the legs of the table, right? It'll fit right under the table, and this is an RPOD 179 with the kind of the normal folding table, and it fits right under the legs of the table and fits right in. So it stows away really nicely, gives you a good compact stowage as far as getting it out of the way when you're not working. So really good little item. I highly recommend this. I've used it many days already, working full time. From the RPOD. So chair, definitely number one. Okay, so this is the second item. Besides the chair we just talked about, the second item is this TABLETOTE, portable compact table that we can put together and have, you know, a height adjustable table. So for example, if I don't want to sit all day and I want to stand a little bit, I can just put this TABLETOTE together. This is a really nice little item. Again, from Amazon. You can just put the table, put the legs in, tighten each one of these in, and it expands quite high. So it goes from, you know, what this height is about, I would say about 14 inches or so, and quite a bit higher. So these legs do adjust out, so you could stand this up on the floor as well. But I really like using it as a computer stand for standing up. So if I don't want to work sitting down all day, I just put the shelf on here, make sure I get at the right height. Put the shelf on here, and you notice it's got a place for the laptop and a place for a mouse. So I can put my laptop up here, and I got a place for a mouse. Now, the thing I love about this is that it is very sturdy. It's remarkably sturdy. So it isn't moving at all. And now I have a height of, pretty good height for me to be able to work from standing up. So if I don't want to sit down all day in the RPOD, I can stand up and actually look out my window if I want occasionally and be out in nature while I'm working, so it's kind of nice. Really highly recommended, and again, from Amazon. It's called TABLETOTE. It's a compact, adjustable leg, a computer table that you can use. Really. Okay, so the third item we want to talk about as far as working from your RPOD is this IKEA technology bag. Really nice bag we picked up from IKEA when we're down in Florida. This has a lot of pockets for laptops, cords, etc. Found this extremely versatile. Got a zipper for putting other things in as far as technology. Can carry a whole lot. The other thing that's really nice about it is it's kind of a hard shell. So if you think about it, I mean, it's fabric outside, but it's kind of hard shell. So think about going through the TSA lines with this. You're not as concerned as something that's really soft shelled, and your technology out in the open. So here's a really nice case from IKEA. Use this all the time for toting technology. Nice for working from your RPOD because you can basically bring everything with you in one bag. All your cords, your laptop, etc. Anything else you need from work. It's got a lot of space. So really versatile bag. Highly recommended. Again, this is from IKEA. So technology bag. Highly recommended. Number 3. Okay, the fourth thing as far as working from the RPOD tips and tools is the speed test app on the iPhone 6s. So the speed test tells you how fast your internet speed is as far as from your cell phone. So I just use the speed test app whenever I go to a site to kind of test my bandwidth, because it's important to have solid bandwidth when you're working remotely, especially if you don't have Wi-Fi. Like we're at a state park in Petoskey, Michigan, northern Michigan. We don't have Wi-Fi, but we do have good bandwidth from our cell phone. So if you notice here, the speed test app is giving you how fast the bandwidth is down. This is around 30 or so. That's very fast actually for cell phone. Anything above 3 to 4 is probably okay to use for working, especially if you're using VPN to log into your network at work. You don't need a whole lot of bandwidth from a download perspective. You know, this is about 3 or so upload speed, megabits upload speed. That's fine. You don't need a lot of upload speed. But 31.9 download is excellent, and we actually have already worked from this slot a few days in prior weeks, so this is really good bandwidth. I like using this speed test app no matter where I go if I'm going to work to check the bandwidth. And even if necessary, I can change slots. So we actually did this at one place where we tested the bandwidth. It was too low. We went to a different slot in the campsite, and it worked much better. So we just went to the office and changed the slots, and we were able to work fine from the new campsite. So really good idea to use speed test. Okay, and the fifth and final thing to be effective at working from your RPOD is having a good data plan from your mobile carrier. Because primarily, especially if you're camping places that don't have Wi-Fi, you're going to need a data plan that you can tap into and create a personal hotspot from your phone and pick it up with your laptop. So that data plan is important. I have mine through AT&T and have a significant amount of gigabytes every month I can use, and that works pretty well. So that's the fifth one, is make sure you have a solid data plan that you can tap in order to work remotely. I find that with doing that and then VPN into the work network that I have, I usually use about 1.5 gigabytes a day when I do that, when I remote in. So that's just kind of a gauge as how much you'd need. Now, I'm not working every day remotely, so probably a week at a time or so. That's going to chew up probably 8 or 9 gigabytes in a week's time of working remotely, just to be aware. So that's the fifth one, having a healthy data plan on your phone. And so kind of the recap, the first one was the chair. Remember the Hercules chair, a little under 25 bucks from Amazon, good cushioning, fits nicely into the RPOD table and the 179, really nice chair to work from. The second one was a standing table that I showed you that works really well. If you don't want to sit all day, you can stand some. The third one was the IKEA bag. The IKEA bag, the technology bag, is really nice, kind of a semi-hard shell that you can put a lot of technology stuff in. And then the fourth one was the speed test app, in order to test where you are and see where what your internet speed is for your cell phone. So those are the 5 things that help me probably the most working remotely, having those 5 things lined up before you decide to work from your RPOD. This is John Marucci, and thanks for watching this Top 5.